Hey everybody, it's Dr. Nicole Bonner with Healing Hands in Manahawkin, and woo, we are coming up toward the end of the year. The year is going fast, it is flying by, and my favorite time of year is coming up, the holidays. How many of you guys out there love the holidays as much as I do? Raise your hand, comment below, comment, love the holidays if you guys love them as much as I do, and I'm looking forward to them in the remaining portion of 2024. But also with the holidays, what comes with it? Whether it's good or whether it's bad, what comes with the holidays, you guys know, holiday stress. And that stress comes in three forms. That stress comes in physical stress, right? Running around, lifting, bending, moving, pushing, putting up your Christmas lights, putting up your Christmas trees, right? Cooking, baking, bending, squatting, lifting, cleaning, right? Every day we have something that goes on physically, not even to mention just standing upright against the force of gravity pushing down on our body, right? And so as the holidays approach, our physical stress tends to go up because our physical responsibilities around our home also tend to go up around this time of year. Oh, I just thought of another one. How many of you guys have already started wrapping your Christmas gift? Raise your hand in the comments below, put Christmas gifts if you guys already started wrapping some of your Christmas gifts, right? You're on the floor, you're hunched over, you're bent over in one position for a long period of time. And I know you ladies, you're crossing your legs. I know it because I do it too. I'm just as guilty. The second type of stress that we experience this time of year is emotional stress. And so emotional stress can be both good emotional stress and it can be bad emotional stress, right? We all know the bad type of emotional stress, dealing with time restraints during the holidays, dealing with maybe financial restraints around the holidays, dealing with sometimes family that we haven't had to deal with for quite some time. And so there's also those good types of stress around the holidays. Find that certain thing for that certain someone that you love and appreciate. There could be also good types of stresses where you're rushing around to do all the things that you love to do around this time of the year. And during these types of holidays, maybe cooking is your thing. It is not my thing, but maybe cooking is your thing. It's a good type of stress, but it's a stress nonetheless. Wouldn't you guys agree? If cooking is your thing, type cooking in the comments below. The third type of stress actually starts around this time of year, right around that holiday we call Halloween. Okay, we should call it Candy-ween, right? Halloween, why? It's the stress of toxins, and our body is being exposed October, November, and December with all different types of foods that our bodies are not used to eating. Sugars, candies, cakes, desserts, alcohol, right? This time of year we have a tendency to drink a little bit more alcohol because we're having celebrations, we're going to parties, we're having Christmas parties, we're having holiday parties, we're having Thanksgiving parties, and we're having Halloween parties. And so we have 2 full months of toxic overload to our body and to our system. Is there anybody else besides me that has already started feeling the effects of the fatigue from all the sugar and the candy and such from Halloween and start feeling like your belt line's getting a little bit tighter, right? If you guys have experienced that yet, let me know in the comments. I'm not the only one whose jeans are getting tight so far, and it's still early in the season. And so when we have these three types of stress, physical, chemical, and emotional, it really does wreak havoc on the body. Not only does it create symptomatology like not being able to sleep properly, decreased energy, feeling run down, tired, and sometimes even affect our emotions as well. Have you guys ever experienced that where when you're not eating as well and drinking as well as you normally do, when you're not hydrating as well as you normally do, you feel more grouchy, you feel maybe more sensitive, maybe even a little bit more sad or depressed. And so when we have these three types of stressors, physical, chemical, and emotional, it also wreaks havoc on the spine and the nervous system. And that's really where chiropractic comes in, because what happens is I got my spine right here. I have my spine. This is the structure of the spine. The brain sits up here. Your brain is your body's primary control center. Your brain is responsible for controlling the health and the well-being of every single cell in your body. Your brain controls the body by sending information down through the spinal cord. So the spinal cord travels right down through the center of these spinal bones here, just like you see here. The information from the brain flows over your spinal cord, just like electricity would flow through an electrical wire. It's an electrical current that flows through the spinal cord. So you can think of the spinal cord and all of the nerves that exit the spine, you can think of them kind of like electrical wire. What has to happen is the messages from the brain, they have to exit the spine. So they exit the spine through that really tiny hole right there, and those messages travel over these nerves to every single cell, tissue, and organ in the body. Now, what happens is when you have these different stresses, you're bent over, you're hunched over, wrapping presents, sitting at your computer, lifting, bending, cleaning the house, cooking the dishes, crossing those legs, what's happening is you're creating a condition in the spine, or those stresses are causing a condition in the spine called subluxation. And a subluxation is a misalignment in the spinal bones that causes pressure and stress to the nervous system. It can cause stress to the spinal cord as it travels through the center of the spine, or it can also cause stress and pressure to the nerve as it exits the spine, just like you guys see here. So when a nerve is under stress, it doesn't do very well. The electrical signals that are traveling from the brain through that part of the nervous system, when the nerve is under stress, it slows down. The signals slow down. Now you can imagine what would happen if your heart was at the end of that nerve, or your liver was at the end of that nerve, or your kidneys were at the end of that nerve, or your stomach was at the end of that nerve. If all of those organs rely upon the information that travels through that nerve, and the information's not getting there in a reasonable amount of time, you can imagine that that organ at the end of that nerve is going to become weak. It's not going to function properly. It's not going to be able to heal properly, and it's certainly not going to be able to do the job that it was intended to do. And that leads to dysfunction or dis-ease in the body. That's why as chiropractors, we work with one condition and one condition only, and that's that condition that we call subluxation. So our job is to analyze the spine and find out if you have subluxations. Our second job is to find out, can we correct the subluxation? And then if the answer is yes, it's correctable, then our third job is to actually do a series of repetitive adjustments to gradually realign the spine and take pressure off of these very delicate nerves as they exit the spine and travel through the spine. Once we take the pressure off of the nervous system can do what it's supposed to do, the brain can pour energy again through that nervous system, and then the body can start to heal the way that it was intended to. Please subscribe or follow for more.